So, what are we doing when you're in the process of divorce, but your husband decides to move all of his direct deposits to his own new accounts that I don't have access to, and decides that he's only going to send you what he deems to be child support?
You go get a job.
And, he moved back in with his mom, and he is no longer contributing to any of our household bills. He is also only seeing the kids like this much, but is telling me, who was kind of a stay-at-home mom, work-from-home mom, pretty much the entire time we were together, that I just need to go and get a job.
Fellas.
Well, unfortunately for you, is right. You're a stay-at-home mom, but now it's time to transition from that. You can't keep on living off of what he was doing. The man, and this is what men do, rather quickly adapted to the situation, and now he's back at his mom's house. Move right back in. I'm not paying all of these bills in the house. Y'all probably had this talk to where he said, this is what I'm doing. You need to figure it out. And he gave you a heads up. But what modern women want men to do a lot of times is they want men to make sure that they're good. The least he could have done was make sure that I'm straight, make sure that this is taken care of, that's taken care of. No, not really. I mean, he can if he wants to, but at that point, y'all are no longer together. You're not going to give him anything. You're not going to make sure he's straight anything. I'm thinking about one woman. She was talking about, in one of the clips I think I showed, her husband, who has now passed away, would do anything for her, even after she left him, even after she filed. And I think she admitted for no reason. He's there for me. Anything that I ever needed, if I needed to talk, he would hold space for me. If he needed to get something for me, if he wanted to get something for me, or I wanted it, actually is what it actually is, I would ask him and he would say, just give me a couple of days, and he would go get it. Even though I left him. That man really loved me. So he was still taking care of somebody that he had no obligation to take care of. That's what y'all want. And when men don't give you that, upset about it.
I filed for divorce with no income, no job. Let's talk about it. So I am 4 years divorced today. But while I was still married, the last couple years of my marriage, I was a stay-at-home mom, no job, no income. I started to become unhappy in my relationship and I wanted out. I did my research, I used my resources, and found out in the state of Texas, you can file for divorce with no income.
Well, it's not really the issue, is it? Well, it is. You can file a divorce at any time. You just... How are you going to take care of yourself? That's the point. Y'all be wanting men to pay alimony and stuff.
There's an affidavit that you fill out and submit with your petition. And that is what I did. A couple months afterwards, I did get a job making like $13 an hour. Because of that, I did have to move to a lower income area, something that I'm not really accustomed to.
Because he was paying for everything.
There for about 10 months until after I got a full-time job paying much more and was able to move us back to the area that we were well accustomed to. I felt like that was a sacrifice that I needed to make for my happiness overall, the health and happiness of my kids too. Because if I'm happy and healthy, then they can thrive as well. I say that to say, don't let circumstances hold you in positions that you don't want to be in, that are unfavorable, and that are not benefiting you. There's always a way out. You just have to stay focused and dedicated and use the resources available to you. Ask questions, reach out to people, do whatever it is that you need to do to get yourself into a better position and a better place.
I feel like if these modern women were this focused on making something work, then maybe their relationships would be a lot better. So many modern women today are so focused on leaving the situation. They're so focused on getting out, on what can I do to escape the situation that I'm partly responsible for. And in some cases, I'm totally and completely responsible for. I'm thinking about a woman who was upset with her husband, talking about weaponized incompetence. He came in the door. She was washing dishes. He said, hey, I think she said she was halfway through or something like that. He said, hey, man, don't worry about that. I got it. Let me wash the dishes. She gets mad at him for offering to wash the dishes. talking about, you see, there's other things that can be done in the house. Go do those. I'm already washing the dishes. Stop trying to take whatever I got going on. You know what I mean? Because I guess they had been together for 15 years. And so she felt like he wasn't using his brain, which I get that. But the way you're speaking to him when he's trying to help, and then when he went over to the couch, try to grab a blanket and say, okay, where do I need to put the blanket at? You know where the blanket goes. This is your house too. Come on, I'm not going to walk you through it. And I said in that clip, you know, you're upset with him, but he's probably gone through this before, to where he's walked in the house and he's walked in to go do something else. You can't even offer to help me wash the dishes. You can't even offer to help in the kitchen. He comes in, tries to help you in the kitchen. I'm already doing it. Go do something else. Okay, well, let me try to. I'll go and get the blanket. I'm sure. Okay, where do you want me to put it? You know where it goes. Well, previously, when I put it where I thought it went, and I thought it was okay to put it right there, you said you didn't want it there. When I tried to put it in the bedroom the first time, you said you ain't want it there. You said it goes in the closet. I tried to put it in the closet. You said, first of all, it's folded wrong. I got to take it back out, fold it, and then put it in the closet. So we go through that nonsense. And then you say I didn't put it on the right shelf. And then you say I didn't put it on the right side on the right shelf. And then you say I didn't put it on the right side on the right shelf underneath the right blankets. So it's a whole bunch of nonsense that you're saying that he's incompetent or he's weaponizing his incompetence. But it's really you that's destroying the mood in the house, that's creating tension in the house. And you talking about I had to do what's best for myself. I had to, because when I'm not happy, my kids ain't happy. You're right. When you're not happy, nobody in the house is happy. And that man is probably better off for it. She didn't say nothing about, well, he put his hands on me or he did X, Y, and Z that really like messed me up. I just wasn't happy. And we've seen what modern women do when they're not happy. They literally, you can't make it up. They will literally leave their kids and their husband, find a different job in a different state, get a different apartment, and just be there for 3 months, just working. And then try to come back after 3 months talking about, oh, well, I just needed to get away. Women will go on a 2-month vacation, even though the man said, what am I going to do? I need help here. And then when she get back, the man want a divorce, and all of a sudden she's upset about it. Modern women would do that stuff.
All the divorced women or soon to be divorced women who have to still live with their soon to be ex-husband.
You don't have
because
to.
of, you know, I don't know, you're trying to sell your house or your lease isn't up or whatever the reason is, but you still are living with them while your divorce is going on. Like how do you manage it? Our lease for our rental is up at the end of July. But I've already filed, as you guys know, I filed for divorce like 6 days ago. And, you know, things are getting awkward. We have had a couple arguments. I'm trying to avoid talking to him. I'm trying to gray rock, like everybody says. Don't get into these extended conversations. But because he's there and we have to talk about things like with the kids, it's just like I can't like.
It sounds like he don't want to talk to you. That's what it sounds like. He's done with the situation. We're just coexisting. But you want to talk about things and he's not. I don't want to talk to you. I don't have no, but we got to talk about this. No, we don't. We can talk in court is where we can talk. We can talk when the attorneys are here. I'm not getting into that. That's what that sounds like.
Avoid him. And what's even crazier is for some reason, he decided to take an entire month off from work. He didn't even tell me. I just got up and he was like there. And I'm like, how could
y'all are getting divorced? Why would he? Why would he? He don't owe you nothing.
When you're not going to work, he's like, oh, I took the month off. He took all of March off. So he's like home every day. And then I thought he was going to go back to work at the beginning of April. And he's only been working like half days or a couple hours. And he's still home almost every day. I don't know if he's doing that on purpose or it's just a coincidence that right when I've filed for divorce, all of a sudden he's not going to work or he's getting all these days off and half days and all of that.
You know, it's really good that he's actually doing that because while he's at work doing things, who knows what you're going to be doing? Who knows what modern women do? Well, I waited till he left and then I took this, and he come back home and his house is empty. No, we're not going to do that.
I'm taking people's advice, like gray rocking, try not to have conversations, try to just be cordial, but wow, like how do you get through it?
So he came home and he was like, babe, I lost my job. I'm like, all right, cool. So a month later, like it was time for the bills or whatever, and I'm like, the bills due, babe, or whatever. And he was like, okay, I'm not working. And I'm just, in a month, like, it's all kind of hustles. You could have been doing something or whatever. So I told him, I said, look, if I pay these bills, are you going to pay me the money back?
No.
This man had the nerve to tell me, why should I pay my wife back for paying our bills? I told this man from day one, my money is my money and his money is our money.
Well, he probably listened to that and chuckled and said she's stupid, because that's a dumb thing to say. That's probably what he was thinking.
Why should I spend my money paying the bills? Like, no, he should have paid me back. So that's when I decided, like, I can't be with this man no more. Mm-hmm. So I had texted his homeboy. Like, we all cool. I texted his homeboy or whatever. We went together. I met up with him. Mm-hmm. And we was chilling, we was drinking or whatever. And I started venting. I started getting emotional. One thing led to the next. I did not purposely mean to do what I did with his friend. But things happen. Like, y'all understand what I'm going through. So.
You're not going through anything. It's just, now it's time for you to pick up the slack. And you don't want to pick up the slack. That's what you're going through. You're going through responsibility. That's what real adults call it. You're going through, it's my time. He's been paying the bills this whole entire time. It's my turn to pick up the slack. It's my turn to do something around here. And I was just going through too much. It's probably because you were at the house being lazy. That's what you were doing. And now that you actually have to get up and do something and you weren't doing anything before, it's a total shock to your system. And now you need a stress reliever, which is stepping out on the marriage, and you're trying to justify it.
His friend ended up giving me some money or whatever. And he was like, babe, look, don't worry about it. Handle whatever you got to handle. Mm-hmm. Like, his friend was every single thing I desire in a man. Like, everything I desire in a man. And, ain't nobody trying to hear my side. Ain't nobody trying to hear me out and what I went through. Like, that's not okay. That's not cool. You made a promise to me and you broke that promise. How am I wrong if I told him who I was and he didn't stick to what he agreed to? Like, that's not love. If you love me, you gonna pay them bills. You gonna do what you told me you was gonna do as a man.
He was paying them. He just lost his job. And he said, hold me down until I get another one.
Old boy, he get money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too much. All these, like, everybody coming for me and stuff like that. And it's not okay. It's not okay. It's not.
I tell you what, man, I don't think these modern women really have the type of self-awareness that they think that they have. If they did, they wouldn't be saying stuff like this. If they did, they wouldn't be bragging. She's darn near bragging about what she did. I had to do what I had to do. So I went on ahead and stepped out. I went on ahead and got some money from somebody else. He said to go ahead and take the money, do what you need to do with it. I ain't tripping about it. Well, you should be, because you're giving money to somebody that's already in a relationship. And she should be as well, because she shouldn't be taking the money from you. As a matter of fact, both of y'all should not even be talking to each other right now. Not at all. It's funny how modern women, they get mad at a man for following somebody online. Might not even know the woman. Oh, how you following her? She ain't got nothing. She ain't got no clothes on. You must be looking at her like this, and this. But they be out here meeting with dudes. I'm not saying it's right. But I'm just looking at the woman. I'm looking at, yeah, but you doing stuff in your mind to her. Okay, let's go there. Because you didn't just done something with a man. You wasn't thinking about it. You already did it. Number one. Number two, you took money from the man. To add insult to injury, you said, okay, well, you can't give it to me like this man. Like this brother over here can give it to me. Oh, and then you can't give me money like this brother over here can give me money. So you're trying to destroy him on two fronts. Let me tell you something. You better be glad that man didn't crash out on you.
She's talking about leaving her husband, and she left her husband because he came home and told her one day that he lost his job. And she was like, okay, cool. And then I guess the following month, he was asking her about paying the bills. And suddenly, according to what she says, she was like, "Oh, nah, that's not what I signed up for. Like, I mean, I would consider it if you're going to pay me back." And he was like, "No, why would I pay you back? Like, I'm in a rough spot, right? So isn't that what like relationships are about?"
And I'm not even sure who would get into a relationship talking like this. Well, now that I think about it, I do remember a woman where a man was pursuing her and she said to him, "I don't want no kids and I'm not going to have any kids and we're not going to be doing any of that. But if you want a kid, you better be getting me a nanny. You better be getting me a maid. You better be getting me somebody to cook the meals, a chef, all this stuff, because I'm just carrying the kid for you. It's essentially your kid." And I think they might have been together. I don't think they were married, but she was saying, "This is the conditions of what I want." And dude was like, "Yeah, that sounds fine." Like, bro, what are you doing right now?
Essentially, she came to terms with the idea, and according to her was pretty blunt in saying like, "No, like, you know that I expected you to be a provider, so if you're gonna look to me to pay a bill, to even think about a bill, I'm out." Like, I think it is absolutely crazy
Stupid.
that in 2024, knowing the cost of living, knowing all that it is that we know, women are still running around acting absurd. Like, let's just really think about this. So you're married to a guy who admittedly has been paying all of the bills. You haven't even had to think about them. You told him your money is your money and his money is your money. Apparently, after just 1 month, he has no money because he has to look to you to be able to pay the bills that he's not able to pay in the moment. And you're only willing to do that as a loan. I could see how you're benefiting from this because this whole time, I guess you've been pocketing your own income. But what then is he getting from this? Like, the benefit of being in your presence? Y'all gotta stop being delusional. That's why people are moving in the way that they're moving. That's why people feel so loudly about, when they see couples getting together and they just know that these women are going to behave like this.
Prenup.
I understand it. And I think at the end of the day, if this is what it's going to be, then marriages need to just automatically come with prenups. The same way I think that when you have kids, you should automatically have to have a DNA test before a birth certificate is signed. Like, these guys are getting all types of twisted and robbed legally, and there's no protection for them.
It's crazy because a man, as we keep on saying, a man up front has to put out. He's got to invest. He's got to put the capital up off rip to be in this relationship. You want to be with me? Take me out to dinner and don't make it cheap. You want to continue to be with me? Pay for my hair and nails and maybe put a little something on my rent here and there. You want to continue to be with me? Go ahead and put a ring on it. Oh, and by the way, it better not be cheap. And cheap is depending on how I feel about it. Oh, and by the way, you still want to be with me? Go ahead and pay for this wedding by your own self. Everything's got to come from your pocket. If somebody helps, fantastic. But you got to get them to do it. Now, some people might come in and say, "I'll pay for your dress or half of your wedding gown, your wedding dress. Or I might pay for this over here." But y'all are putting that responsibility solely on the man. Oh, and by the way, we got to do a honeymoon. And it's not going to be no staycation or something that we can afford. It's got to be an extravagant honeymoon because, we're only going to do this once. And then in 8 years, they divorce and they go marry somebody else and try to get another extravagant honeymoon. And this is just a theme. This is just a scam that they continue to do over and over again. And men are like, you know what? I'm not going to keep on feeding into this. You can get some other unsuspecting guy, but it's not going to be me.
Getting a divorce. I just wanted to rip off the band-aid and tell you guys there are 2 people involved with this, so I'm going to keep the details private, but I will be talking about my experience navigating this. And yes, I have a small account, but I know people are interested in my life and my husband's life. He didn't sign up for this, so I just ask that you guys respect his privacy. Because not only does it hurt him when you guys leave comments on old videos and stuff, it also hurts me.
Girl, you have control over all of that. You could just shut up. You could just be quiet. That's it. Please respect his privacy. Why don't you do the same?
Obviously, this is a person that I still love and loved a lot. I think I kept out of leaving mean comments towards someone. So, together 5 years. Those are memories I'm thankful for.
Again, it's your fault. Why y'all leaving me in comments? Because it came from you. The story's coming from you. You're causing the turmoil in his life. They're listening to you and they're saying he's a terrible guy because you're saying this, you're telling the story wrong.
Or it's really painful losing that and losing the person that felt like home. I know this is for the best. I think we both know this is for the best, but it doesn't make it suck any less. But let me tell you, I will be taking you along for the ride, starting over. It's all of the divorce stuff. My biggest goal is feeling secure. So obviously, I have 2 dogs. I need to find an apartment. Thank you guys for giving me patience while I've kind of dealt with this behind the scenes. And cheers to starting over.
One thing you'll find about modern women is they'll do anything but keep things private. They will do anything but protect a man's peace. They'll do quite literally anything but protect a man's right to privacy, to some sort of, can I have something to myself? Can I keep something to myself? Modern women are always taking. They always take, always take, always take. It doesn't matter what it is. They're going to take something from you and they might cry on camera. They might say, oh man, you're hurting me, you're hurting him, and I still care about him. So if you're hurting me, then you're hurting him. Well, you don't care. You mourn what you thought the relationship was going to be. You mourn the life that you thought you were going to have. You really don't care about him. You're mourning. Well, let me say this, to a degree, you probably did, right? So you probably actually cared about the dude. I'm in love with this guy and I'm so sad it couldn't work out. At some point in time, we need to start asking ourselves, well, why didn't it work out? Why can't it work out? What do we need to do to get over this hurdle? It takes 2 active participants. Now, if you couldn't find a way and he couldn't find a way, I get it. And it's better to not do anything or just go your separate ways before you get married and lock each other down. I get that. But y'all were married. Y'all made the commitment to say, you know what? Through thick and thin, better or worse, we're going to go through it. We're going to be there for each other. But then y'all decided to part and go your separate ways. And saying, well, this is what happened. And you tell your side of the story. And you shade it to you being the victim. You shade it to, oh, well, he did this and I just felt like I wasn't happy. Remember that woman earlier on in the video talking about, I didn't know if I could file for divorce without any money, but surprise, surprise, you can. I wasn't happy. And when I'm not happy, my kids aren't happy. So you're giving people solutions on how to leave something instead of work on something. That's the problem that most men have. Most men are going to stay, try to work it out, try to figure things out. But modern women, well, I got to be happy. What am I doing if I'm not happy? My happiness is of the utmost importance. I want to travel. I want to go look at diamonds. I want to go swim in the Atlantic Ocean. You can't swim over there. Well, I'm going to try. Yeah. Just things that you obviously don't even need to be worried about. They want to do. And they'll put what they want at the forefront and then be looking at you like, why are you not keeping up? Well, I don't know, because we have responsibilities now. We have kids. We have a family. We promised each other that we're going to help each other build a legacy. But you don't want to do that anymore. You want to go off and do your own thing. And when I say, I really don't want to do that, well, it's mutual. Let's part ways. Well, I guess it is, but it's not really all that mutual. It's you actually want to leave and go do something else. Cheers to starting over for you, I guess. But now you just made my life exponentially harder because you want to go do your own thing. So basically you lied. You said that you wanted to do this, but you actually didn't. And now you got me in a frenzy trying to figure out my life and what I'm going to do. Modern women don't care. That's why she's on here talking. They don't care about nothing that you have going on. They really don't. I'll get on here and I'll talk about my issues and my struggles. And then when people hear, women specifically, hear, well, not all women, but they hear what's going on, they'll say, oh, he must have been a bad person. He must have been doing something wrong. Let me go over here and make his life harder. Oh, please don't. I didn't mean to make his life harder. Well, be quiet. That's the problem that you're having in marriages. You won't be quiet. You won't be considerate. Just talking to somebody about what some of these ladies are doing in their marriages. So I think they said something to the effect of, she was listening to a story that her husband was telling, and she had never heard the story before. And she was like, man, I'm kind of listening because, you know, I'm learning it for the first time too. There's some things, a lot of things that I don't know about my husband. Exactly. That's exactly the point. Your husband is always worried about your happiness and what you got going on. He's got to be involved in, oh, well, I want to go to this concert, or I want to go here and vacation there. He's got to worry about that and figure out how to get that. But for you, you don't care about that. Just as long as the bills are paid, just as long as your hair is done and your nails are done, and you didn't have to pay for that. Just as long as you can go on vacations with relative ease, you might put a little bit back for the, oh, babe, I want to put $500 towards the vacation. Excuse me. Vacation's $7,000. But thanks. I mean, it's majority me, but thank you. They're not really helping. They're not really contributing much to the relationship. And when they feel like, well, let's run this course, I'm not happy, I feel like I'm not getting much out of it, they want to leave you after you didn't put in more work than they did and say, oh, I need to go. It was best for both of us. I need to go find happiness. Well, while you finding happiness, pay me back.
Need 3 different kind of, a treat, a trick, and a sponsor. A treater ain't a baller. He gonna do what he can. Like take you to dinner, take you to Topgolf, get your hair, get your nails done. Probably gonna get about $500 and below out of your treater. A tricks are a little bit more experienced, so you gotta put in a little bit more work with a trick. You know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to keep them pleased. But a trick could take you on a vacation. He'll buy you a nice little Louis handbag, maybe some heels. You can get between $500 to $5,000 out of your trick. A sponsor. Your sponsor could fund your whole life. Your sponsor will pay your rent up for the whole year. Your sponsor will buy you a brand new car and pay off that college tuition. Sponsor will invest in your business and level you up. Sponsor got that I don't give a money. Feel me? You get 5,000 to affinity about your sponsor. Now you can turn a treater into a trick, or you could turn a trick into a sponsor. It just depends on how they land. Use them accordingly.
You know, these women, man, it sounds like you're selling it. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you're selling something. If that's what you're doing, then just say that. You're not in a relationship. You're in something to sell something. You're a lady of the night. And some of these modern women, they listen to this stuff and they be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do that. And they be surprised when it don't work. They be surprised when they actually have to give up the goods in order for a man to continue spending.
And ask every name on your phone for $500. If you got it like that, ask him for $1,000. If you really got it like that, ask him for $5,000. Quit being scared. Take that money and go shopping.
You could just have your own job. Is what I'm saying. Going back to the Michael Porter Jr. thing, a woman was discussing it and she was upset with Michael Porter Jr. because he was trying to figure out if he still needed to pay the woman's rent. No. In that situation, y'all broke up like in 6 months. She basically, what happened, if you don't know, Michael Porter Jr. was dating a young lady. She had to get out of the apartment. She's looking for another apartment. So she's looking for an apartment on a very nice, expensive side of town. Mike said to her, okay, if you have to get that apartment, I can help you out. I can pay half for about a year. Well, 6 months into dating, they break up and she's wanting Mike to continue paying the whole thing. And when he says, I don't know if I should keep on paying the whole thing, she's upset. Why? I'm not your sponsor anymore. Well, how come I got to do tricks and how come I got to do things to make you continue to pay and keep your word? Because we're not in a relationship anymore. So I'm not just handing out free money. I'm not getting a benefit. Well, you got to keep your word. I'm not getting a benefit, period. I'm not going to continue to keep on doing that. You should have found a place that makes sense for you that you can pay for.
I'm not going to Topgolf. I'm not going to the movies. Unless you my man, like my man, I'm just
There you
not.
go.
I take my kids to Topgolf
There you go. She's selling it.
into the movies.
Baby mama.
Quit answering that phone every time he calls you. Quit texting him right back. You got be busy. Even if you ain't doing shit sitting on the couch, be busy.
Listen, if I'm paying your rent for a whole year, you're not busy. Especially with the way y'all be trying to live. Especially with the way you be trying to get your nails done, your makeup, your hair, your eyebrows done. All that whole look that you got on your face, that makeup. You're not busy. You're not busy at all.
But these
I'm not going on no more dinner dates with no niggas. Flat out. Feel me? These niggas do not got the privilege of being seen with me out in public. Feel me? I'm looking all good. We walking in the restaurant. I'm walking behind him like I'm his.
You are.
Wanna take me to dinner? He gonna have to pay me for my time. He gonna have to pay me for getting up, getting dressed, doing my hair, my makeup, and leaving out my house. I don't give a fuck about no little $100 dinner.
Isn't he paying your rent? What are we talking about right now?
Because I gotta sit there and then the waitress think I'm your.
but you can't
Ask you about your past. All he needs to know is that you got treated like a pretty princess. Tell him your ex died or some shit. Don't tell him that you used to get cheated on. Don't tell him don't tell him nothing bad, okay?
The problem with this is that y'all's exes be coming back because both of y'all are toxic. So even if you say that your ex passed away, your ex is going to show up on my doorstep in my $1 million home, in my neighborhood with my nice manicured lawns, putting up a fuss. And I'm going to have to call the police on him, and I'm going to have to call the police on you.
Tell him you only use the queen treatment only.
Broke. And by the way, go follow the page Chats with Shan. CHAN. Chats with Shan. It's a really good one.
Ain't scared to ask these niggas what you want. Because these do not be scared. They do not hesitate to ask you for some.
yeah, it's basically
Let their mind wander.
It's just bad advice. Just bad advice all around. She continues with the bad advice. Women, don't listen to this. Y'all are looking for stable, healthy relationships. Despite what your body's telling you, you're looking for a stable, healthy relationship. You don't want all of this riffraff that she got going on. You don't want none of that. You're going to end up with a disease. You're going to end up with heartbreak. You're going to end up with a huge therapy bill. You want to have a family. You want to have a man that takes care of you. You want to have a man that protects and provides for you. And you reciprocate that energy. That's what you want in the long run. You don't want to be out in the club. You want to be sitting out focused on the camera with looking stupid. Camera on you talking nonsense like she's doing. You don't want that. You don't want none of that. You want to say, oh, that's funny. Now, if you want to run across this video and you want to watch it and be like, oh, that's funny. These women nowadays. Or you want to listen to it for entertainment like you would, I don't know, Big Brother or some of these silly reality shows. And you just have a good, man, what is wrong with these women? Oh, man, look at that guy. Oh, man. Now, see, that's why you can't trust men, because you never know what Chris is going to do. Chris and Shanna, that again. If you want to get involved with that drama, go ahead. But that's fantasy. That's not reality. When you come back to reality, you still got your man. Maybe he sit down on a Friday night and watch it with you. Y'all sit there and have a laugh. It's a bonding experience for you guys. And y'all move on. That's quality time for you guys. Oh, my man, he didn't like the show before, but he get in there and he watch it with me. Yeah, he thinks it's silly too. But y'all come out of fantasy and going back into reality. Something that men have to do every day. I'm going into the fantasy. I'm playing video games. It's stimulating my mind. I love it. It helps me to relax. Now I got to get up and go back to work. That's what y'all need to be doing. This is a fantasy right here. This is foolishness.
Friends hit me, wanted to take me on a date. He like, Brittany, where you want to go? I'm like, let me think about it. I'm like, you got any ideas? It's don't say Topgolf. I said, hold
Sounds
on.
good to me.
So I sent him this little vacation spot I have been wanting to go to for a little minute. And guess what he did? Took me to that little vacation spot that I wanted to go to.
Stop the cap.
That's what I'm saying.
Quit accepting the bare minimum from these. Ask for what you want. Think
It's Top Golf. Top Golf isn't cheap. It's not. You can run up a tab at Top Golf.
big. I only got 5 minutes on the phone with me. 5 minutes only, and then I gotta go.
This is a I'm telling you, man. This is about enough for me. This is about enough for me. These modern women just lying. Just lying. This is about enough for me. Y'all not gonna tell the truth. Y'all not gonna say, no, I'll be on that phone a little bit longer than 5 minutes. No, I'll be talking to him. No, I got something to say. Oh, what do you want, Big Daddy? Oh, what do you like? You want mama to come over and make you a plate or something? I'll be over there in 30 minutes and I'll have that perfume that smell good that you like. And you gonna show up, you gonna pay for your own Uber, and you gonna get there and you gonna cook that man some spaghetti. Just like he like. And on the way there, you gonna stop at the store and get him all of the fixings that he like. You gonna make sure that you got the bread, the right sauce, not no cheap sauce. As a matter of fact, you gonna make the sauce from scratch. And ain't gonna be no arguing. Ain't gonna be none of that. Because you know that's where your sponsorship coming from. They be acting like they moving like that. You not. Bro, just call yourself what you are. This is an arrangement for you guys. Y'all, all right.
Ain't no sitting on the phone all day. Ain't no falling asleep on the phone with these 5 minutes.
Of course not. Why would you be on the phone any longer if they're your client? You're just calling to talk and set up something, and then you're going to the date. Quote unquote date, I should say. You're going to the meeting is essentially what y'all have it.
Cinco. When you with them, be nice, be loving, be kind, be so sweet.
What I say, you're not doing all that. You're not doing all that. It ain't gonna be no trash talking. It's not. You gonna shut that mouth. You gonna listen to what he has to say.
But as soon as you leave him, ignore him. Leave him on red. Act like you don't even know him.
That's not gonna. Anyway, what she means by ignore, and he working, so he's not really paying attention to this stuff this nonsense she talking about. What she means is, oh well, baby, I got a little busy. You know, I was helping my mom. I had to take my kids to school, but I'm here for you now, baby. What do you need?
Confuse him. So that he could say that bare minimum or bare minimum. Man ain't generous. I don't want him. I can't stand no stingy, cheap ass, tight ass. Okay. And the T is a man can have a lot of money and still be stingy and still not spend it on you. You could find a man who don't have really a lot of money, but is very generous.
We know.
I'm going to take the generous any day.
Because that's what they want.
And this is Shan looking at her page, posting a little bit about what she got going on. You know, as you can see right here, she got the little dress. This is what they're going out to dinner in. And modern women like to say, I don't dress for the male gaze. I don't care what he like. He ain't go, oh, I'm going to act like this and I'm going to act like that and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. No, you're not. You're going to dress in. You're going to dress in exactly what he like. You're going to look exactly how he wants you to look. Or else that rent ain't getting paid. Or else them bills ain't getting paid. That's it. That's just it. That's how relationship, period, end of story. You're talking about a certain person. Y'all, she talking a lot of trash and that's all it is. It's trash. That's literally all it is. Modern women want men to sit up here and think that, oh yeah, I got it like that. Even Shira 7. Oh yeah, he ain't gonna do this, he ain't gonna do that. When you're around, all of that stop. All of that shut up. She might go back and forth a little bit. That's just a little attitude. I mean, you can deal with that. Everybody got that. Right? A little back and forth ain't never hurt nobody. But what they doing, the way they talking, the way they making it seem like they talk, they don't be talking like that. She just told you, she just confirmed, oh, when I'm not there, I only got 5 minutes for him. I only want to talk to him for 5 minutes. When you're there, you got to talk to him sweet. We know. That's it. Let me ask you a question. Do you really think a man with money want to be on the phone with you all day? You only got 5 minutes because that's all they're giving you. These, by the way, if they was telling the truth and they realistic about what's going on, man, I'm finished. I don't care no more.
Can someone on this app please explain to me why there are so many men on Hinge that feel the need to mention the gym? Like, oh, I love working out, I love going to the gym. But even more so than that, why are there so many guys that feel the need to connect the gym to dating? For example, I feel like I see guys all the time on Hinge saying something along the lines of, oh, like, it's important to me that like my girlfriend works out or something. And I have always found that to be odd, because even though I am someone who works out, I feel like mentioning it first on a dating app is a little weird. Like, including that in your first impression, I feel like that's so weird. Why are you making that one of the first things you want women to know about you? And I don't know if this is just the girl in me kind of like coming through, but it's like, if you're mentioning the gym to me up front, I feel like that automatically makes me assume you're focused more on how I look versus more on getting to know me and caring more about my character and our compatibility, you know? And I just have always found that to be so odd and concerning, and I don't really see the disconnect that guys have when putting that on Hinge. I just think it's creepy and weird, and you really shouldn't talk about it on like the apps when you're literally making a first impression. Whatever.
I don't think these modern women know that what they're saying doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I get if the man is going on and on about it, but it's not ending up like you want it to end up like. The conversation's not going in the way that you want it to. A woman in the comments, and there's a lot of women in the comments that's talking about this. She says, being active is very important to me. I always see it as a green flag. Another woman says, I'm also a gym bro, gym sis, but gym or whatever. I'm also a gym bro and need a partner who is on that level. Maybe I'm the problem because it's also on my profile. I look for men who mention it on theirs. Another woman says, I feel like this is the opposite of a problem, but okay. Another woman says, good health, goal setter, but sure, it can be a boring topic of conversation. Everyone should be getting exercise, but to some, it's a hobby. Right. Yeah, I feel like that. To them, that's what they like to do. Have y'all ever been on dates with women who be talking about, oh, my dog is my life and you're going to hear about my dog? Actually, now I'm thinking about a clip where the woman, I think the man blocked her. I think the man might have blocked her, and he just quit talking to her. He just quit responding to her or something like that. Actually, he told her he was about to block her. Essentially what she was doing was every day, or at least it was like multiple points, like during the day or something like that. It was frequent. They were talking. They weren't even dating. They were talking, and she kept on sending him pictures of a dog. She kept on sending him pictures of her dog, unprompted. He did not ask for them, and she just kept on sending them. And he was like, I really don't care about your dog that much. Please stop sending me these photos. And he blocked her. And I don't want to hear about it. That's what she liked. That's what she wanted him to know about her. If you're going to buy anything from me, maybe it should, if it's not for me, then maybe it should be for my dog, because that's who I love. And so now that a man is talking about the gym, it's a problem now. At least the man is not out here. Y'all complain about men being sloppy. Y'all complain about men not taking care of themselves, not taking showers, not having good hygiene, and all these other things. But then when a man takes care of himself, he runs, he's passionate about it, that's a problem too. Well, you're talking about it too much. Balance. I get where you're coming from once again, but what's going to happen is you're going to get into the relationship, and even before the relationship, you're going to be telling him about things that are important to you. And when you do that, you're going to want him to sit there and listen. As a matter of fact, most of the time, you're going to be telling him stuff that, well, a lot of times, I should say, maybe not most of the time, you're going to be dumping on him emotionally, darn near every day, about the things that happened at work, something that happened during work, something that happened before work, all of these things that are coming together and how it feeds in. I'm going to start from the beginning and tell you every single detail, even though he don't need to know all of that. You're going to expect him to listen. Don't butt in. Don't interject. Don't give me no solutions. Just listen to me complain for the next hour or so. When you could be at the gym. When you could be spending 20, 30 minutes talking to me and 20, 30 minutes us sitting and watching a television show. You're going to listen to me for this whole hour. And then you're going to have to get your mind right and go and do something else. Because I just dumped on a whole bunch of negativity. But that's fine. But God forbid a man talk about wanting to go to the gym.